Hi. Hello. Welcome here. Welcome back. My name is Moth. For those who know, for those who don't know, that's still my name. Joao and Shunif, hello. Welcome back. Okay. I think we should be good. Let's start my music. I don't think it's very loud, but that's okay. Okay. We just need it to be a decent volume. Now, can I stop you from moving all over the place? No, I can't. No, I can't. Okay. I'm talking about mic. Talking about microphone. I finally found my my tablet glove and a cloth for cleaning it. So I'm probably not going to be using the glove because I kind of don't like how it feels, but I am happy to have the like little wiping thing back, my little cloth back. So, anyway, it's amiya time, BB. Oh yeah, I said I would talk about Okami too. Alright, let's see what I have to say about Okami. I did say that, and then I said that I'm gonna keep my promise to actually do it. Because they were talking about determination at the end. And sorry, my camera. Oh, I actually got my tablet without the key, the connector falling out. Nice. Gotta adjust myself. Adjust my position. Okay. I don't do this before art because, well, one, I'm horrible, and two, it's hard to do anything on my keyboard. Not that I really need my keyboard right before I start a stream, but hello? Headphones. Please don't. Come on. Please don't unconnect my Bluetooth. What the hell? I didn't touch anything, did I? I didn't accidentally press anything, did I? Come on now. Oh, nope, we're good. Alright, jerk. Maybe I'll plug it into my computer later. I don't know. Okay, so. Okami. I'm gonna do a little bit of, I guess, warming up hand stuff first, which I probably should do more of anyway. Hello, Amiya. Amiya! My girl finally got Calcit. Hell yeah! And then new module, I think? Yeah. I'll have to grab that, but it's not my priority right now because I don't really use her. But still, she deserves it, so I'm gonna spend the money on it anyway. Well, not real money. Okie dokie. Yeah, we'll just do a new file to doodle around. Maybe I'll try these brushes that I downloaded. See what's up. So yeah, Okami. I mean, as far as the gameplay goes, I definitely really enjoyed it. I still think it didn't come even close to Hollow Knight. Okay, it's not fair to compare things to Hollow Knight all the time, but they didn't really give you a good reason, I guess, to fight enemies. It was always motivation. There we go. That's not the word I'm looking for either, but whatever. They just. Even though it was money, I didn't really need that much money, especially with everything I found. And I think, while I was criticizing it for that, it's not like you were meant to need to fight all the enemies, especially because, like, you know, there's a way to prevent a lot of them from spawning. Like, when you change it to daytime, they're a lot less common than they are at night. After a while, they're just a nuisance. Yeah, basically. But at the very least, I feel like I'm giving them too much credit here, honestly. They definitely could have done the enemies a bit better. The combat it's not so bad that I, like, hate doing it, and it's easy enough to avoid enemies that it's not the worst thing ever. It doesn't, like, ruin the game for me. Okay, my headphones really don't like to stay connected. That's wonderful. Great, I love that. What the hell is the issue here? Hello? Okay, if it does that again, I'll just plug my headphones in my computer. But yeah, they're not, like, super fun to fight, I guess. I wish there were more powers that you could use to attack also. Because I was having so much fun, especially when I first got the cherry bombs, and I wish you could slash more of them. I know it's like, too easy, and you gotta stun them in some way first, but come on, man. I think the combat could have been a lot better. It could have been a lot better, and the ice was just... It was... You know what? It's fine. The concept was fine. It was annoying, and it was supposed to be. I just didn't like it personally because, it wasn't fun to deal with, but, you know, I can't really fault them too much on a technical level for that, because that is kind of the thing ice levels are supposed to do. They're supposed to make you hate them. They're supposed to make it harder, make your life harder, with no extra added value. Although I suppose some people would disagree with me on the no extra added value. I mean, I guess that's why they do them, because, yeah, it's gotta add something for someone, I suppose. I'm not that person, though. I'm most certainly not. So, the ice was done fine, I guess. It just... I didn't like it. I didn't like the ice parts. It was if the ice had only been during, like, puzzle parts or in certain boss areas, I would have understood more, because, like, at least that's supposed to be annoying. This does not need 30 stabilization. Why is this brush at 30 stabilization? I was wondering why it was so weird. If it had only been, like, during puzzles and enemy fights and stuff, I could have understood it better. I don't really know why they had to have ice parts for just regular moving, because usually, I mean, the point of ice is to be annoying and make things harder, but it doesn't have to be harder to move across the map for no reason. Like in Mario levels, you're sliding and it makes the puzzle harder, but if you were just regular walking, when there's no puzzle to be solving or anything like that, it's just like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Again, it's not a huge gripe I have with the game, but and it is a personal thing rather than I think this was a poor development decision. And there wasn't too much walking on ice that, like, wasn't during a fight, or actually maybe all the ice parts had fights on them. If that's the case, then I retract what I'm saying. I mean, I still personally don't like it, but then it's entirely a personal problem and not I think this was a bad decision on a development level problem. Regardless, it's a personal gripe anyway. I'm not counting that against the game itself as much as I would like to. I can't. But I mean, at the very least, I did find the combat, while it wasn't fun enough for me to, like, want to do it, it wasn't horrible. It wasn't, like, super, super boring. Especially some of the boss fights, the gimmicks were interesting, I guess. And they weren't that hard to figure out, so I can live with that. Sometimes I would stumble on them by accident, but once I did that, it's not like it was super difficult to get my bearings. You know, I wouldn't activate the whatchamacallit, the gimmick on accident and then not know what I did. There we go, that's what I'm saying. Hi Luco, welcome back, and thank you, Shooter, for the bits. So, if I had activated it, or, like, hit them in the right place, and then not been able to recreate that, or not, like, had never been able to recreate it or figure it out, because I wouldn't blame the game if me, personally, I didn't get it on my first try, because I am not good at things. But, yeah, I'm gonna give them credit where credit is due, and that the boss gimmicks, while annoying sometimes, at least weren't super difficult to the point where I couldn't figure them out. So they weren't, like, the worst. Some of the mob gimmicks I didn't like so much, because it just made it take longer. It just simply made it take longer. It wasn't, like, necessary for making it more, making the fight more interesting or something like that. That I would understand, but, you know, you can't have everything in life. Okay. Wait, is this which, oh no, that's just the, line there, okay. Yeah. But, for the most part, the mobs were fine. I did like, however, when there was, a very obvious or like a gimmick that they actually told you when it came to the mob fights, and then you would it would be like associated with a new brush technique you would use in that area, and like the things that were giant circles, and then they had like an eye or something in the middle, or the one that had the nose in the middle. Those I really liked the concept of where they were going with that, because it was based off a brush technique that you had just learned, which is already a great way to, you know, get you to use them. So I guess maybe I can't complain that much when I talk about the amount of combat brush techniques, because while they were very specific, I wish there were more that could have been used across the board, but that's another personal thing. How was your day? Pretty good. I got some crochet stuff done. Now I'm talking about my thoughts on Okami because I said I would do it. And now that I've, you know, actually started speaking, it's not horrible terrible, because that is usually how things that are a little bit of effort go. Well, I wasn't sure if I'd be able to like verbalize many of my thoughts on it, but I am, so that's good. Did you finish it? I did. But yeah, so I was talking about oh right, I wish there were more brush techniques that could have been used across the board in battles, but I think that's another thing that I'm not gonna count that against the devs, because that is another thing that I personally want, but it was fine that wasn't there. I just think it would have made the brush techniques more interesting. And I also, okay, one thing that I do think it wasn't the worst decision ever, but I think the game could have been a lot better if the brush techniques for the solving puzzles hadn't been so specific, I guess. Like, for example, the blizzard one. I mean, y'all remember how I was saying, like, oh man, I hope that it's, you just get to make a blizzard anywhere, like you can just make that fire anywhere with that one fire one, but instead it's you have to be near ice to do it. I get it, and it does make it easier to solve some of the puzzles, which, I mean, goodness knows I could use, so probably shouldn't be complaining about this, but I'm going to anyway. But, like, on the other hand, it gives you a lot less room to, like, experiment around with the puzzles, because there's, like, well, there's one solution, which, again, not a big deal, but you can't, like, bring back, you can only bring back so many old ones, or it makes it really obvious which ones to use. It would have been cool if I could do more things. Like, if I could make ice at any point, then there's a lot more that I could have been like, oh, do I use ice for this, or something like that, and I would have remembered more of them, instead of, like, sometimes having to look up, oh, what was this power? And sure, maybe I would still have to do that based on being me and all, but I think it would have been a lot better if they had let you actually use the stuff you got more, giving you more opportunities to, like, have fun with them, instead of you use this specific thing in these specific places, goodbye, you know? Hats, welcome back. Discussing Okami. Okami! So yeah, I think they could have made the brush techniques and stuff like that more, not interactive, but they could have done better with them and used them for more things, had them, not that they weren't important to the game, so I don't want to say, like, more important or bigger scope or anything like, or bigger scope maybe, but I think they could have allowed you to be more creative with them. There we go. There could have been more creative problem solving, which was something that it was lacking a little bit. Playing a game while watching your stream, nice. I always have to do something while I'm watching people's streams. Usually it's well, drawing sometimes if I can make myself do it, or game, something like that. So good shit. But yeah, so I think it would have been improved if we could, you know, have done more creative problem solving with and using the brush techniques more freely. Yeah. I think, I mean, again, it kind of fails in that regard. So, would it have made the puzzles harder? Probably. And I would have complained about that at the time, though. I would have complained in the moment, but I wouldn't be, whining about it right now. It would have been like, okay, it was nice that you could get creative with them and stuff like that. Game on Roblox. Oh, you people in your Roblox. So yeah, that's one thing I think they could have done a lot better with. I think, yeah. Because, the game is, they want to encourage you to be using the brush techniques. And it was like the main part, the main idea of the game, I think they could have done a better job at making it, railroady nature's intended though, isn't it, since it's a kid's game? It's actually rated teen. So yeah, I would take that into account more, but it was rated teen. So it's not a kid's game, but like, although I wonder what it's rated in Japan, actually. That would tell me a little more. That would change my outlook on this, my opinion on this. Because yeah, if it's a kid's game entirely, then totally fair. You can only have it so difficult for kids, or I mean, at the very least, having it harder makes it significantly harder to accomplish in a game. And so I understand that only so many games want to, or are willing to do something like that. But since it's rated teen here, I'm using that in its, I guess, against it. But yeah, I don't know what it's rated in Japan, so I should probably take that into account. Yeah. So what else? It's 100% rated T here because of the sexual innuendos. Oh, absolutely. Oh, for sure. But, like, was it rated T in Japan, too? Because if so, then the sexual innuendos, like, they... I feel like with all those... If it's rated T in Japan, I feel like with all those, they did it with it in mind, having to be rated T. And in that case, they could have gone a little more. But if it was like, if T was like a surprise rating, then that would make my opinions on that change a bit. Even so, it still would have been fun if you could use some more of the brush techniques around, or like more than just specific areas in combat. Again, though, I'm glad that some of them you could use in combat for like specific enemies. I just wish you could use them for more. You know what I mean? I did like that there were a lot of enemy gimmicks in battle, because it would have been a huge pain in the ass if they weren't like clear on it, but they were. So, I mean, the way West is about more anal and upping ratings for sex jokes in the East. Yeah. Vice versa for violence. Yeah. No, that's exactly why I was saying, oh, maybe it could have been rated, not that, in Japan. So if that's the case, then I take back what I say about, I mean, I would still have liked it to be more like that, but I'm not going to count that against them. And I'm not going to count it against them anyway, because, yeah, but it's something, if it's rated for kids in Japan, then I think it probably would have been a bad idea to do it the way I want it. Yeah. So, take that as you will. Yeah. And then some of the, this is again the specific things that I understand, but even so, I feel like there were cases where this didn't just apply to me, where like, for some reason, they would give you like really obvious answers to stuff, and then some stuff was so esoteric. I don't know what was up with that. I can't think of any examples off the top of my head, sorry, but I remember I was talking about it in the last bit of the stream. For example, like me not seeing the giant glowing lever, that's on me. that's on me. But there were definitely some where I was like, come on, man, how am I supposed to guess this? and then other times where they said something and I'm like, I know, we can stop just laying it out for me, please. So yeah, it was an interesting mix of that. At least it wasn't like terribly prominent. The only reason it was more prominent than it would be otherwise is because a couple of them applied to the mob enemies. I still really don't know what gets the guys who have like the, I know it's not a banjo, but that's the only thing I can think of, the like banjo looking thing. Is it a shamisen? Is that what that is? Anyway, the imps that had those, I still am not sure how those are supposed to, how you're actually supposed to go about stunning those so that you can slash them. I really don't know. But I survived out of brute force in the end, which is fun. Yeah, it's a shamisen. Nice. Okay. I love getting things. Saving this file. What's day 29? I had to be looking to the side of my keyboard to see what numbers are where, because the keyboard is often another, well, off behind my line of sight. So yeah, that applies to like some of the plot. I think the plot I mostly understood when there wasn't anything I was super confused on, but man, some of the time they would just really go for the explanation. It's like, okay, or they would say the same thing like 4 different times. All right, dude, I know, we can stop now. I know that if it Shiranui, the little Ponko helper is gonna be the grandpa. We did say that outright already. Thank you though. Yeah. But again, that's another thing that's like a mild complaint, because it's just mildly annoying. The thing, oh my god, this must have been what annoyed me the most. I know there's a lot of stuff that annoys me, but you know, that happens in general. It's not anything against the game most of the time. Anyway, the text, how sometimes it moved so slowly that I could read out loud, and I would still have to like read super slowly if I didn't want to pause myself everywhere. I don't understand. They should have just let me skip through all the time. Sometimes it let me just quickly press through, but certainly not all the time. And good lord, and it didn't even have options for making it faster or slower. Or maybe I just had it the fastest, something along those lines. Was not pleased with that. Was not pleased with that at all. So I don't know what was up with that, but that was definitely that is probably my biggest complaint in the game, honestly. But you know, when it did let me skip through, it was great, because then I could actually read at my own pace. There's no reason for you to keep me there. There's no reason for you to keep me there. My guys, my dudes. But I survived. I did. Okay. Yeah. So that's another point for, things that I suppose... No, it's not like a bad dev decision just because it's... I mean, it was a bad decision. We'll just leave it at that. It was a bad decision. They really should have not had that. Y'all, my guys, please have mercy. What is the difference between these brushes that I'm doing? Where am I weirdly... Where are my weirder texture brushes? Come on. Okay, this was what I'm looking for, I think. No, maybe I just have to press down harder? No, I don't know. I'll just keep using the basic round brush then. Okay. So, what else? I think the plot was fun. I wish they had a little more build-up to Waka's reveal, I guess. I mean, it's not like he wasn't always kind of, oh, is he a good guy or a bad guy? I mean, it was always pretty clear he was a good guy, but they were kind of, well, especially with, what's his name? Isun not trusting him at all, but it was always pretty clear he was not gonna be a villain. But I wish they had hinted a little more at exactly what his thing was. Maybe if I go back, I'll change my mind and be like, oh, never mind, they so did. But I think it would have been fun if it was more guessable that he was, like, one of the moon people. Also, wait, yeah, it ended before I could, like, why is the moon tribe accursed? Like, why would I hate him just because he's from the moon tribe? And then we never saw Kaguya again. I really thought we were going to see Kaguya again. So that also confuses me as to why it was definitely ended a little sooner than I think it should have. It's not like the game wasn't plenty long, but there were some things that I was waiting for that we just never got to. Nah, he's an ass. Waka? Why? All he did was be a bit annoying. He didn't do much bad. Only I was fine with him. Isun just didn't like him. And also, I still think it's funny, Isun complaining about that part when he locked us in with Orochi as if that's not where we were going anyway. He just didn't want to be locked there. Aren't they considered cursed because they built the Ark? Wasn't that the implication? Didn't they say they built the Ark for, like... They said the Ark was for, like... What was it? Because someone had originally said, like, transportation of demons in the first place. And then we heard something else about it? I don't remember. Because the purpose of I mean, I guess if people are like, oh, you built that Ark and because of that, we hate you now. Maybe. Or you built that Ark and evil happened with it and now we hate you even though that's not why you built the Ark. Okay, maybe that's it. That would make sense for, video game logic and the logic of many people around the world and in video games. So, sure. I mean, during the reveal, Waka even explicitly said he needs to atone for being the one who brought it to Earth. Yes, that I do remember. No, that's true. And that I understand why he feels like he has to atone, because yeah, I don't disagree. But I thought he like didn't know that there were monsters aboard it. I'm not sure. Regardless, I feel like that could have been a lot more powerful of a plot point, but they just kind of threw it at us last minute. Even though there was always something up with Waka, obviously, just the specifics are kind of thrown at us last minute. Like, if you had hated him up until then, I don't think this would have changed all that much, right? It's like, oh, you fought with me 100 years ago or something, blah, 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 I trust you, we're partners, you know. But, like, it was so fast. There was no developing of any sort of relationship, which really gets me. Especially because I just had this issue with an anime that I watched. They tried to pull something, and they could have, but they just didn't bother to establish the groundwork and the necessary character development for the relationship to work. But in the anime's defense, they only had so much time to do so. Okami could have done that. We had the time. We did. But alas, I don't know. What else? I'm not going to because I am way too lazy, but I think it I like that they added the whole bead hunting in there, because I think that's definitely a good thing for people who like that type of thing, and then you get a fairly reasonable prize out of it. And you know what? I feel like the people who are going to do bead hunting are the same kind of people who are going to replay the game, so the fact that it gives you a better thing for playing it again, I think that was a very good decision. I think they're going to make the people who did bead hunting very happy with that. It's a good prize, and it's not something that, like, you know, super affects the entirety of the game. So yeah, no, I think that was good. One thing though is the stupid demon things. Till the end, I still do not know where you are supposed to get them outside of the minigames. So if you have minigames turned off, and they're like super rare drops from enemies, I mean, I guess I could potentially have 100 of them if I'd actually fought enemies, but again, there was very little incentive to do... Incentive, that's the word I was looking for. There's very little incentive to actually do that, so... I don't know, man. I'm confused on that. I think someone said you could get them through side quests, maybe? And that would have made sense, I guess. Because I didn't really bother doing side quests because, well, they just kind of... I wanted to, and then I kind of fell out of it. Because there was plot and stuff going on. But, yeah. I don't like how... I don't know how to make myself like what I'm doing here. Whatever. Let's oh, I think more stray strands of hair should do it. Because yeah, it looks a little too... Yeah. Enemies always drop demon fangs if you use a floral finisher. I remember having way more of them than I needed to play when I played through Okami. What is a floral finisher? That's very good to know. What is a floral finisher? It might be a me problem for not knowing that, actually, but yeah, I guess that is the kind of thing that they could expect you to figure out, but I don't know what that is. Well then, I guess I can't complain that much if that was something that I was expected to figure out. When the enemies turn gray and use a specific technique to finish them off, the game explains this to you. Oh. Wait, how do I know what specific technique? Is it where I, like... Is that what happens when I sit on the painting screen for long enough and it shows me and it draws something for me? Is that what that is? Is that what it wants me to wait and see what it tells me to do? Because in that case, on one hand, fine. On the other hand, come on. Don't make me wait. I'm busy. Yes, you could also check in the bestiary, which it told you to do to see enemy weaknesses. I did for the bestiary to see enemy weaknesses. Hey. Especially, well, not all of them, but... Okay, alright, fine. The demon fangs maybe were a me problem then. Sure. Sure. In that case, I wish there had been more places... Oh yeah, I still wish there had been more places to, like, use them. Unless there were and I missed them all. But, like, was it really? It couldn't have been just the one at the end, right? I'm also wondering how the hell I missed those weapons. But I didn't talk to all that many merchants, so that will do that. Actually, never mind. I'm not wondering how I missed those weapons. I know exactly how I missed those weapons. Never mind, never mind. And that was, yeah, okay. Okay. That's a little better. Alright, fine. I will accept my blame. Okay then. Alright, then what else? I did, okay, while I am complaining about not being able to use enough of the brush techniques in the, in fights, I think there was a good amount of using them in the world, even, like, I did like how many of them you could use outside of puzzles, yeah. Like, you know, mostly thinking of right now the water lily was very fun, and I mean necessary, because, yeah, but I definitely enjoyed that. I definitely had fun using that, and then blowing it. This is another thing where, like, I partly blame this on being a port, and I think they at the time were doing what they could, but some of the ability of the game to correctly read the brushstroke sometimes is, I could not get it to read the fire one for the life of me. And I know I'm not the best at, like, doing infinity signs and whatever. I don't know how to fix myself. I'm sorry. If they had let me do this, I could have done it. Maybe they would have. I actually don't know. Maybe I should check. I'm not gonna boot it up right now, but yeah. But this is supposed to be done with, like, a controller too. And I was using, I feel like I was at an advantage using a whatchamacallit. Oh my god, I totally know how to say words. Mouse. So, huh. And then sometimes when I would try to use bloom and it would do wind. Come on, man. You can tell the difference. I believe in you. It's supposed to be done with a Wii remote, so not a controller. Oh, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm dumb. I knew this, and I'd been saying this the whole time. I just, yeah. Even so, this is me doing it with a pen. With a pen. Oh wow. But again, I didn't do it with a pen there. Still, I feel like sometimes I did it correctly enough, and it should have read it when it didn't. That made me sad. But yeah, no, it was supposed to be a Wiimote. You're correct about that. Still. Okay. What else? Why do my headphones keep on? Hello? Keep the connection, you bastards. Alright, fine, I'll plug them into my computer. If I can find the off button. Okay, I'll have to see if there's some issue that is my fault on my end with those. Okay. Felt like the brush worked fine on controller. That is impressive. Because it sure didn't work well with keyboard for me. I'm skipping ahead. Skipping ahead in that video. Oh, if it'll load now. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. All right. Okay. Well, that's that on the hair for now. For now. I need to make myself stop looking at it. No looking at it. We're done. We're done right now. New layer. So yeah. I'm sad that I only got the ability to headbutt rocks so late, because I know that I could have, yeah, it wanted me to like go back and stuff, but it was so late. I feel like the end kind of steamrolled me a bit, but it also helps that I kind of wanted to finish it by then. So I'm not super complaining about that on like a development level, but also, give it to me earlier. And I couldn't mark stuff on the map. That's another thing. I wish they'd let me mark stuff on the map. I so deeply wish they'd let me mark stuff on the map, man. I think that would have made my life a lot better. Okay, what do we do for this? Yeah. At the very least, like when I would hover over the like mermaid pools, tell me where they're going. The whatever they were doing with the map could have been done a lot better. I don't know why the map was such a struggle for them, but it was somehow. Oh, that's my race. That's not mine. Yeah. No. Yeah. This looks better. What did I do to the... I was thinking, what did I do to the size and opacity, but... Interesting. I thought it wasn't working correctly, but I could be incorrect. So yeah, I don't really know. What else? Does anyone else have anything to say about it? Anything they want me to touch on? Maybe I'll think of stuff more later. I mean, I could compliment the art all day long. I just, the stylization, the fact that, you know, it still holds up today. I said this at least like 4 times over the course of playing it, but 4 being a generous estimate, but it holds up so well because they don't try to make it super realistic. The more you stylize 3D, the better it's going to hold up in the future, and that's just a fact. Stuff from like stuff from not very long ago looks so dated already simply because, you know, they tried to make it so realistic, and sometimes stuff looks dated before it even comes out because of that. I, for example, for the most part, I like the style of Final Fantasy 15, and I'm ragging on this game despite how much I love it. I always have to, you know, insult it a little bit because, yeah. But the faces are so not up close. From afar, everything's fine. From up close, the faces are just so almost in the uncanny valley area. You guys. I wonder if they fixed it at all for 16. They really just should have. They did not have a good, like, balance between anime and realism. They tried to, and it did not work. So I wish they would, you know, do better at that. Yeah. Again, I don't know what 16 looks like, so maybe they did do better. I mean, I've seen it, but not enough to like know what it looks like in action or anything. I don't think I would have had that same issue with 15 if I, you know, had just looked at it for a little bit. I would need to actually play it. I don't know if I intend to do that or not, but regardless, that is my complaint on that. Oh, right. I don't need to complain about that. What I was saying was that Okami avoids that by being so stylized, and it was a very good idea. Even if they weren't, I mean, I'm assuming they weren't just doing it as a future-proof type of thing. I would be astounded if they were, but it is something that I really like about it, and so it is something that I want to mention, because, yeah. And we always know how much I love talking about art styles and stuff, like how, well, I actually don't know if I have went off on this before, but Hollow Knight is so cute. It's so cute, and they did so well. I really, really like a lot of things about that game. I have very few complaints about it. A couple, sure, but, you know, who doesn't? And some of my gripes are just personal gripes. Well, yeah. Some of my gripes are personal gripes. But I can't think of anything off the top of my head to criticize it for, at least. So, yeah, no, art, I do love going off about art, but, I mean, I think that is to be expected of someone who is currently drawing, so no one's gonna blame me too much for that. I did talk about it a lot for Okami. It's just the brush painting style is very cool and so unique. So unique. And I really like it. And then how the trees are in, or some of the stuff is in 2D from the side, like it's flattened. It's very interesting. Oh, which reminds me of a bad thing being the camera angle, but so many games have bad camera angles. So many games have bad camera angles. And it's another thing where I'm like, I'm sure you're trying your best, but oh my god, it didn't work. But in this case, it was less of a, you tried your best to do, like, to try something new and it didn't work. It's a, just suffering all the way. Just suffering all the way. Yeah. Definitely some of those camera angles could have been better. I also didn't like the part, the one place in the one, what was it again? The tower where the cat statue that I couldn't see because it was in a weird place for the camera. That sucked. That sucked. And I that was definitely not on purpose, and was poorly done. Poorly done there. You were almost definitely supposed to be able to see that a lot easier than you could. But oh well. Oh well. Yeah. Aside from that, though, like, oh, the proportions of the characters, I don't agree with the decision. I really don't. But it does add to the uniqueness of how they were all torso and no leg, and it does also make their running animations extremely funny. And I think, I mean, the game is like, you know, it doesn't take itself super seriously, so I think that was intended. I think you are absolutely intended to laugh at the run animations, which I can respect, even if, oh my god, what the hell are you guys doing? So, I mean, if you're doing things for laughs on purpose, good job. And if I'm wrong about that assumption, you needed to work on that. That was not the style you wanted in that case, but I'm pretty sure I'm right that they wanted you to laugh at the run cycles. They were very funny. They were so exaggerated too. So I'm very certain that you were meant to laugh at those. Yeah. And I did. And I did. So congrats there. Congrats there. I'm trying to figure out how hoodies work. I don't know how hoods work, man. I don't know how hoods work, man. Yeah. Style definitely got me. I also liked the characters a lot. They were very sweet. They did, I mean, it's not like they were complex, but again, I tend to mention this just because sometimes I do play games with very complex characters, like, you know, Disco Elysium and stuff, but they weren't very complex, and they really did not need to be. I think they tried a little bit at the end with Waka there, but I don't think it paid off. I don't think they accomplished what they wanted with Waka there, which is very sad, because again, it could have been very, very interesting and quite like a reveal and stuff like that, but it didn't really work out. I don't think the game was so much worse for it, but it could have been better. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's a shame. It's a shame they couldn't get it to work out. Yeah. But regardless, I also think it's really funny. Another thing that I would have imagined they would have put more, like, more plot-related stuff into, I guess, or make it more important, would be Isun's whole issue, where it's like, I guess, like, it was a reveal and all that, but it just was a lot less serious. His whole backstory and stuff was a lot less of a serious thing than I think they wanted it to be. Or maybe it was exactly as serious as they wanted it, and what they wanted was not very. I don't know. It felt weird to me. It felt like it should have been a bigger deal, you know? I'm confused on where they wanted to go with that. But hey, who am I to judge? I guess if that's what they wanted, which again, I'm not sure, but I do not know, but if that's what they wanted, then, well, sure. It's entirely possible that they were just being like, saying like, look at Isun, he's such a whiner, something like that. I don't think that's what they wanted, though. I think they meant it to be more emotionally involved than it ended up being, so I don't know. They didn't exactly know how to give characters character arcs. Yeah, I think that's where we're going with that. They didn't really know how to give characters a character arc. So it's a good thing it was a pretty laid back game then, yeah? Because if they had tried and failed, it would have been it would have stood out, that's for sure, which is what I'm talking about with Waka. But if the game had taken itself more seriously, it could have, like, ruined some of the experience, where in this case it's kind of like, why did you try this? Why did you try this? Why did you think this would be a good idea? But oh well, so sad for them, I guess. Good for the characters who didn't have to, you know, go through any kind of super traumatic event. Well, on screen, I guess. I think Waka's event was probably fairly traumatic for him. But, you know, it's all fun and good. It's all fun and good. Yeah. That's okay. I think for now that's all I have to say on it. But for sure, if anyone wants to chime in or want my opinion on something else about it, feel more than free. It's an open conversation. And if I think of anything else to talk about with it, I will do that. I was about to say unless you're tired of hearing about it, but no, even if you're tired of hearing about it. Although I don't know why anyone would be. If you are, then maybe this is not... Maybe I'm not the right streamer. I do love talking about video games. I do. Which is, I mean, okay, I do love talking about the technical aspects of video games. A lot of people like talking about video games. That's not exactly what that's not my full point. My opinions and thoughts and feelings. What game should I play next? That's the question. I'll figure this out, but I don't know. Pathologic tomorrow. I think I said this already once, but I'm giving it a different ultimatum. I haven't been super interested in Pathologic, and that makes me sad because it did come highly recommended. And it's part of why I keep being like, whoa, I love Hollow Knight so much. It lived up to my expectations so well, because Pathologic so far is not so much doing that, which is very sad. But if I don't get more interested in it by next time, so tomorrow, I might have to put an end to it. Yeah. Again, that'd be sad because it comes recommended and people have liked me playing it, but I mean, you know, I can't go full on a stream that I'm not super into the game of, you know? Because I don't want to spend my time being like, oh god, I have to play this game. Ugh, I really don't feel like it. So, you know, said so many times it's probably the end, huh? Yeah, I just have not gotten interested in it. And I keep seeing reviews and stuff that are like, whoa, this is a genius game, and the story and stuff. But I'm like, I don't. And it's probably too early for me to see it and what they're talking about, but like, I don't know, man. I'm not enjoying the process of it. And that's a pretty big nail in the coffin, isn't it? I don't enjoy the process of playing a game. yeah, if you don't enjoy the process of playing a game, you probably aren't a huge fan of that game. You can always be a fan of the story of a game, but, yeah. Like, I am curious to see where it's going, but it's not going anywhere fast enough. You feel me? So I can't, like, stay interested in it because it's not giving me enough to be interested in. You know what I mean? Yeah. I know we're figuring stuff out slowly, but I would like to figure stuff out a little less slowly. Yeah. Basically that is my issue. Okay. Oh, one thing here is that this hair should go like over this. Yeah. This does not need to be, cause, oh, hold on, cause yeah, I think, it would be kind of like this, right? I won't have it be going over these, but like if that's where the hair is coming from, then well, in that case I can put it under. Yeah, I think so. And then I'll just redo those two hair strands. That's what I'll do. Yeah. I will write a note to myself so I don't forget. Okay. Yay, notes. Yay, notes! I feel like this is starting to look a little stupid, but... In my defense, it does look kinda... This calls for being further away from it. Maybe. Maybe. That, no. I think I'm erasing that too. I don't like that. Okay. Okay, redoing this little thing, which shouldn't be that big of a deal. It's just... Okay. Oh, I had eraser and not pen up. I love when that happens. That's happened like a million times already, just today. Well, I guess we can blame me not using my tablet as much as I should. But in my defense, I've at least been doing some creative stuff because I've been working on my crochet. It was very fun and exciting. Having a good time. Almost done with my crab. Then I'm gonna make a snail and use it as a pin cushion. Yay. Quite happy with myself. Doesn't happen all the time. I'm not always quite happy with myself, but this time I am. Look at me go. Alright. I at least want to get this. So... we may or may not be done after the day once I get this, but I do want to... The problem is it's so, like, scraggly, you know? Not scraggly, but... yeah, like, what the hell's happening here? Amiya. Yeah, okay, you know what? I guess it can be as weirdly messy as I want, because what is happening there? But I definitely want, like, longer, I feel like I have the tendency to make it, like, too tight and neat in, like, a way that doesn't work in any way. So okay. I want this to be more purple. yeah. It's always the edge ones that are hard for me. I mean, all this stuff is hard because these kinds of things are never easy at all, but, you know, hardest is the edge ones. Because what are you guys supposed to be doing? What are you guys supposed to be doing? I don't know. Okay, this is... okay. Alright, cool. This works. This works. Good enough. Okay. Yeah, it's specifically hard to, like, determine what works as the inside versus the outside. Like that's the big one. Main cause for concern. Okay. I think we're okay. Alright, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna be using this still. I do like this. I do like this this color combination. I was gonna do more of a like gradient dish with it, but you know, I've been liking the more messy, so I think I want to do this though. Yeah, I think I've got, even though, you know, it's, well, nothing's ever gonna be perfect. I don't know exactly what I'm doing, but I think I've got a good beginning of a style that I actually like, which is good because God, is that hard. God, is that a big ask. This is not easy. There's a lot of things to keep track of right now. That's the problem with that. That's the big issue with the not actually really using many layers is that I gotta really keep track of my shapes. And I'm not good at keeping track of things. It's not what I was made to do. It's not what I was born to do. It's very sad. It'd be easier if I was. I don't know what I was born to do. I don't think anyone really does, but I know it was not keeping track of shapes. That I know for a fact. That I know for a fact. Huh. Okay. What's this color? No. What's this color? Give me this color. I like this color. Yeah, give me that. Yeah, give me that. No, I messed something up there. Man, I gotta use up my stamina Arknights, actually. I'm wasting it right now. I'm pretty sure it's fall. Gotta do the event, man. Always gotta do those events. Horrible. Can't believe I would do this. Play a game. Actually play the game that I play. And I like event areas the most because I want to be doing something new and challenging and coming up with new things. Sounds fake, but okay. I know, right? Whoever does that. I just talk about playing the games. I don't actually play them. Except, I can't even say that because a lot of people do actually do that, and I am not one of those people. Somehow. Well, depends on the game, to be honest, but, you know, for the most part, I do play my games. I just also quit them sometimes. Well, again, as most people do on occasion. Man, imagine if you were forced to play one game. Like, you're forced to keep playing a game. You choose a game, you're like, okay, I'm gonna start this. And then the world says, oh, you're gonna start it, are you? I don't think you're just gonna do that. You just, what, gotta live with it? I don't know. Yeah, just erase that issue right there. Yeah, something more like this, right? 'Cause the... I don't even know, man. Oh yeah, I want to make this. This is also as like shiny as the rings there. Let's just do that right now. And I'm gonna differentiate these colors somehow. Okay, yeah. That works. I can't have the necklace blending into everything. That would be, I mean, I could, but I don't really want to. It'd be not ideal. I'm gonna go back to, yeah. Yeah, let's go back to this. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, I said I was gonna finish that, but I am so tired. I think I might have to call it a day. Yeah. Yeah, sorry. At least I got a decent amount. Well, yeah, I mean, okay, I'm not exactly the fastest artist, we all know that, so I think I got an okay amount in, well, over the course of an hour, not that bad, but it really doesn't help that I tend to do art in like slices in the day if I'm doing something. So, I don't know, maybe someday I'll have the energy to like have a stream where I do art and then I do a game and then I switch back to art, you know? That'd be the way to get the most art done, at least. I think. But it helps when I'm not talking. I like talking though. I could shut up, but I can't. You know what I mean? I'm incapable of it. Can shut up for a little bit, but not very long. Not very long, because I'm like, oh, I'm on. And you know, there's things to say. I mean, there isn't, but, you know, I keep saying, you know, I really, maybe you don't. What if you don't know? What if, then I just look like a fool. Then I just look like a fool. So I hope you know. How to prevent me from... I don't know. Prevent me from what? Putting a stain on my honor. Having a reputation of being embarrassing. Well, too late for that, but, you know. Again! Okay, I'm gonna work on that. Maybe I'll be like, okay, this whole stream I can't say, you know, or whatever. God, that'd be hard. I'll just have to shut up when that happens. instead of saying the you know, I say like half a you. Am I capable? Am I capable of such a feat? Question will remain unanswered for the foreseeable future. It would be funny to do like a punishment game out of that, though. I don't know what the punishment would be, but I've been thinking, well, for a while. I still don't know what I guess I could do it with this, like a punishment game where I have to eat a really hot chip, like a ghost pepper chip, every time I mess up. Oy. Well, that would get me to stop talking at all because I would be too busy with my mouth being on fire. So, you know. So maybe that would work. Maybe that would work. I really just said, you know, you never notice how much you do something until you make yourself stop doing it. Because you're good at this. I'm really good at this. I feel like I'm saying it more since I am actively trying to avoid it. Like that one, not saying, thought exercise, where if someone tells you not to think of a purple elephant, you immediately think of a purple elephant. Like that. Except with the phrase, you know. Whatever is also a big one. Whatever will also go on that list of stop saying this. The point where it is, we're at the point where it is simply annoying. The amount of times you say a word, a single word. Well, whatever's the single word, you know, is 2 words. It's 2 words. So I can even get as far as you. And I feel like if I was at that point, depends on how sportsmanship like I'm feeling. Because if I said you, about to say you know, I feel like if I actually say the you, that would count for you should have to eat a hot chip. But if I'm not feeling very sportsmanlike, I can be like, I didn't say the full thing. Whatever would still be up in the air because that is 1 word. But for you know, it's 2. So if I don't say you know, maybe I was saying a completely different sentence. You have the knowledge. You have the ability to understand what I am saying. Yes? Yeah. It was a whole sentence instead of just, you know? So yeah, I could cheat my way out of it. I could cheat my way out of a lot of stuff. That's a lie. I don't think I'd be very good. I'm not a good liar. I'm a really bad liar, in fact. So I think cheating would probably not be up my alley. But who knows? It could happen. Now, like every time I want to say a sentence with the word no, my brain is thinking, can we say that? Can I say that? I don't know. That one I could. It had the word no. But instead of you know, it's don't know. Instead of you, it's me. I'm really extending my time here. But, like, if I'm talking, then it's easy to extend my time spent on here because I'm still talking. And I might as well be drawing. I feel like that's the thing. Drawing in and of itself is not entertaining enough to keep me doing it. But if I have some other form of entertainment, such as something to talk about, then I can keep going. I need to be doing so many things at once, man. I need to be doing at least a couple things at once, and I can't really watch my, I don't know, some YouTube videos. The problem right now is that I can't crochet at the same time. since that's what I'm really big in right now immediately. So sad. And I can crochet and watch my YouTubes at the same time, so... I can even draw. Well, it's not like I'm paying much attention to the videos anyway. So I can even draw and do that, but I can't stream and do that. Can't stream and do that. So it's up to me. It's up to me. Alright. I think we're gonna... Yeah. We're gonna end this right now-ish. What is... Hold on, what? Oh, okay, that's part of the sleeve. I see. I was like, what is that? What is this line? What is this going to? It's part of the sleeve, so this does not go there. Not quite. Yeah. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Okie dokie. Cool. That. Yeah, we're gonna end this before I. Well, I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to spend a million years doing this, but it is not my intention. I would like to move on to at least another part of this little collar thing. But nope, instead my brain's gonna be like, no, you have to fix this little part. This little part that you're not gonna see, and if you do, it might even not be like what you want from it. But you're gonna keep doing it over and over again anyway. Maybe you might even make it worse. Brains, man, am I right? Am I right? You know, need more arms? I don't think more arms would help with crocheting and drawing at the same time. I think I would still not be able to do both at the same time. Even if with multiple arms it would be possible for a person to do two things that both require that much attention at the same time, I would not be the person who could do it. I can almost guarantee you that. In fact, I'm going to guarantee you that because you can't prove me wrong, since I do not, in fact, have more than two arms. Because technically, if I'm not using Control-Z or keyboard shortcuts, I can have one arm free. I really do need two arms to crochet, but I can't draw two things at once. That takes more brain power than I could even fathom. So, I think that's not gonna happen, but it is a fine concept. It is a good concept. Just not one that's gonna work. Okay, now we end. Now we end for the day. Okay, thank you to everyone who came. Ooh, I don't like how... Nope, we're not looking at that right now. In fact... I was putting my tablet back. In fact, even if I decide to look at it, maybe I should just keep it like that because her thing is kind of awkward in that way. I am not sure. We will decide later because it definitely helps to take a break from a drawing and look at it with fresh eyes at a later date. Okay, thank you everyone who came. Thank you extra to the people who chatted with me. If you are watching me right now and you are not following me, please feel more than free to do so. I'm Moth Plus on Twitch and Twitter, and Moth Plus channel on YouTube. Yeah. Oh, and thank you extra to Shunif for the bits. I greatly appreciate it. Is there anything else there? Anyone else to extra? Nope, we're all good. Okay. So with that being said, good morning to my morning people. Good evening to my evening people. Good night, good clap, and goodbye. Peace. Later.